brother, how are you?
I'm fine.
How's it going? Are you at work already?
Yeah, I'm at work. I still have about 15 minutes of that about.
Oh, is that your 15 minutes African time or 15 minutes real time?
15 minutes real time, my brother.
I have to relate it. It's really crazy. Mm-hmm. I was talking to a friend of mine at work the other day, and I said, hey, can we meet up at 3 o'clock? And he goes, hey, he's a white guy, right? And he goes, hey, do you mean 3 o'clock or 3 o'clock African time? I was so disappointed, bro. Can you imagine that?
It's a culture we've imbibed over time, which is shameful anyway.
Why do you think so?
Because we don't keep our words. We don't keep our words. You know, when you do business with a fellow brother of yours, just be on the lookout for any move that might just show some sense of insincerity. You understand? We don't keep our words. In fact, in this crime, people tell you good morning. Sometimes you need to be definitely cocksure that it's daybreak, or else.
Wait, you know, this is serious issue, right? It is. I don't know if it's become an habit that we felt that, because sometimes even if somebody want to do a wedding ceremony or do anything and they want to put something on an invite, they say, oh, what time is the pastor going to come? 10 o'clock. I think everybody should be seated about. You know what? Let's put 9 o'clock. We do it like purposely. What does that say about us? Is it because... Go ahead.
It's something we've adopted over time, and it is simply attributed to our lack of seriousness. You understand? We appear not to be serious about anything. You understand? We joke with our health, we joke with our lifestyles, we joke with all manner of things. We don't take anything serious. We take almost everything with a pinch of salt. Do you understand? Like life doesn't matter, like time doesn't matter. Okay, so I stumbled on something that has to explain time. For every time you lose, you can't gain. No way. You can't gain. You can't gain. And somebody wants to come and visit you, that person has a planned time to do something else, and you keep that person waiting for only God knows how long. And before you know it, they come back and they just tell you, sorry, traffic, sorry, I had a flat tire, sorry. You know, all manner of excuses. And then, you see, the excuses are also there for you to just pluck them from the trees to apply. You know? We don't take anything serious. We don't. We don't. So, and it's unfortunate.
I'm inclined to start, again, when things like this, when I think about stuff like this, I kind of want to go deep and kind of like, what is the root of all of this? And I'm inclined to kind of think that maybe because of the prevailing poverty, or because, we don't take things and stuff like that, we take stuff with levity. And I see it in a way that when somebody says, I will see you at 10 o'clock, and I waited for this person, and this person shows up at 10:30, I'm not even annoyed, right? I felt like 10:30, that's kind of like the same, it's still within the same scope. Right. Is it because we allow that to happen, or I can't for the life of mine think of the fact or why it's so. It's really annoying sometimes, especially because
it's simple.
Go ahead.
It's simple for me. When the handshake goes beyond the elbow, what is that? For me, that's right. What it is.
Yeah.
When the handshake goes beyond the elbow, what is the meaning of that? It's no more greeting. That person is up to something else. But because that person has been indulged, that attitude has been indulged. So should the handshake go beyond the elbow and you get a punch to your face, you can't blame the person.
Now, let me ask you now. You are almost at work. you have to get in at a certain time. You have to do stuff at a certain time. That is not applicable to you. Is it because your boss has set that kind of expectation? I mean, do you think that's the reason why?
No, let me not put it this to you. The fact that my kind of job, I have to clock in at the time I have to clock in. Mm-hmm. Still, I am always sometimes finding myself flouting what the ethics says. So you can imagine, it is what we've come to kind of, make it a norm. Acceptable abnormality.
Acceptable abnormality.
Mm-hmm. Because the person is going to tell that I understand. It's okay. Can you imagine? It's out of sheer irresponsibility, so to speak. Honestly. Even you see our leaders too arriving very late at functions, public functions. They'll tell you the governor is going to be here at 11 o'clock. All guests are advised to get seated by 10:30. Must they tell you to be seated at 10:30? But they are telling you to be seated at 10:30 because they have to stress it. By the way, you get seated at 10:30. The governor strolls in at 11:30, 1 hour after. No apology. He goes on straight to grab the event. And after the event, he leaves before you. They even tell you to sit down to allow the governor or the president to step out first before you. It means that you are not even prioritized. Who the hell are you?
which kind of
1 hour wait?
Which kind of beg the reason why? I mean, I know when it comes to things like that, is it because of the upper, no middle class, lower class mentality? I don't know if lower class will do that to a fellow lower class, or maybe in such occasion like what you mentioned. Yeah, I've seen people wait for like 6 hours just because, there's a delay, but nobody want to do anything, or nobody cares.
You know the kind of delay I will appreciate. I will appreciate the delay that wants to cost that person I'm expecting his or her life.
Right.
And it mustn't be a flimsy excuse. For instance, I'm at the airport to pick up someone, and that person couldn't arrive on time due to bad weather.
That's understandable.
That is reasonable. But that person arrived because he missed his flight. Whose fault? You should find a cab. You should find a cab that will bring him to my house or something. Because I will have waited and exhausted my patience.
Right.
I am also guilty of fact. I'm also guilty of this fact. But the fact is, it appears that's the way we've been wired. African. No. What's that? It's bullshit.
It's true though. I do some little designs for people here when they want to do, weddings, or again, I mentioned wedding, or do any kind of ceremony or stuff like that. I've had people say, please write there, 11 o'clock, no African time, but that's not true. They still come at 12 o'clock. They still come at 1 o'clock. As a matter of fact, I believe that,
right?
Yeah, I believe that a lot of people have kind of put 1 hour as a buffer to say African time. And the other day, I was just talking to my, I was talking to my friend's sister. She's a teenager, very bright and stuff like that. I mean, she's very, very smart. And we go biking around the neighborhood. And I said, I'll see you at 5 o'clock p.m. And she goes, oh, you mean, she was just joking. And she said, do you mean 5 p.m. Nigerian time? I said, no, at 5 p.m. everybody will be sleeping then, because I actually thought she was trying to calculate what time is it going to be in Nigeria. So I said, no, Nigerian time is 10 o'clock. No, he said, no. But in Nigeria, it will be 6 p.m., right? So she actually thinks that Nigeria is 1 hour ahead, and that's why we call it Nigerian time that way. Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy? I can imagine that. I can imagine the expression on your face when you heard that.
I had to spend extra minute to kind of explain to that person, and she was just in awe, because again, everything has to go to time here. If you are delayed, if you stop the time, somebody else is going to be affected by your delay. That's pure and simple, right?
Exactly.
unfortunately,
exactly.
If you're here and you're working and your boss asks you to come to work at 7 o'clock, I don't see a lot of Nigerians coming at 7:30. No, they get to work at 6:59.
So especially when money is involved.
Exactly, and that's another thing that I kind of agree with you when it comes to like people taking this time with levity. You know, when it comes to work, they get there on time, but when it's time for other things or going to church or doing no, they will start it ahead of them, and I think it's just pathetic, especially because it's beginning to show in our behavior, and other people are beginning to see it, and they are using that towards us, just like my friend who did to me that I was telling you.
Now, let me paint a scenario. You have a wedding for 10 o'clock. You got the notice of the wedding 2 months ago.
Right.
Do you need African time?
No.
You got the notice of that wedding 2 months ago. And it's for 10 o'clock or not. Saturday. Right. You should have planned whether you're going or not. But interestingly, now I understand that maybe you are going to the wedding with your spouse. Now, they are our wives, when they are before the mirror, it's another ball game. Be careful. You understand? Some men could be some men. Yeah, I know. I have to be careful. They are mothers. They are wives. Some men try to meet up, because I've heard people telling me, my brother, sorry, madam. I mean, I had to wait for her before she finished off her makeup and all that, because they didn't even factor the time. If she had factored the time, she would have even started her preparation before the husband. Most times, if my wife is doing the makeup, I'm still in bed. Maybe playing with my phone or something. Because I know that by the time I hit the bathroom, in 10 minutes, I'm done. So, you can imagine, it has to do with time management. If you know how to manage time for your own personal reasons, and you don't expect anybody to keep you waiting, why should you want to keep someone waiting? Why? Some couples will even go for their wedding church service, and the pastor will unnecessarily just introduce some time delaying things, just maybe because attention or money and all of that, and that will affect the reception time. So you see some guests already who didn't attend the church service, who only wanted to attend the reception, they will now be forced to wait, because they can't do anything until the couples arrive at the wedding ceremony, at the reception. So, I think it has to do with indiscipline. Indiscipline of the highest order. If we have that consciousness that, look, come, 10 is 10. It's not bad if you get there 10 minutes before 10. In fact, it keeps you settled. It keeps you settled so that you can settle in for what you've come for. If you have an interview, for instance, at 10, I'm sure you're not going to stroll in at 10:30. A job interview, you won't even stroll in at 5 minutes to 10. A job interview, because you're late. So we just handle things with levity and we think it's right. It's not right. It's not good for us. It is an act of indiscipline. I'm also guilty of it sometimes. Though you mentioned something the other time. You said poverty level or something. Well, there could be excuses. But if we allow those excuses, it becomes a handshake taken too far.
That's right. I have a friend named Mike. He has a very famous saying, very, very famous. I mean, I love his saying. He says, be early. He said, to be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late. So if you're actually there like 10 minutes early, that means you're on time. If your appointment is 7 and you're there at 6:50, that means you're on time. If your appointment is 7 and you are there at 7, you say you are late. And
that's it.
Honestly, he hits the nail on the head, because that's actually true. And I found myself, again, having, like what you said, getting more disciplined about planning out my time. I know you and I have talked about it. If I want this at this particular point, if it's not done, it's going to affect a lot of other things, because I want to use that other time for that same thing, and you begin to encroach stuff, which you're kind of like a nerd or an old person like me. it's crazy sometimes if you kind of miss that match.
It can be crazy. It can be crazy. Well, that brings to mind the song by Jaru, Always on Time. I think we should just lock it down there. I told you I have 15 minutes. Let's always be on time, and of course, that will not let any other person suffer. It's about discipline. That should be our watchword. That should be our watchword. Discipline.
Yeah.
I just hope let's be on time.
I like that. Hopefully, we get to erase all of this unnecessary abnormality that we put ourselves into. Again, we let our yes be yes, let our no be no. If you want to do it at 9, say 9. Tell your pastor to come at 9, or whoever you want to invite.
It's convenient.
And start at 9.
It is convenient for you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm. It is convenient for you. Do you know some people will be comfortable when you say 9 is not going to be okay. Let's make it 9:30. Right. Do you know that?
That's
and
true.
they'll be fine. And they'll be fine with that. They'll be fine with that. So it depends. But
and I just wanted to mention that these are some of the things that we personally can do to help. This is has nothing to do with government, politician, or stuff like this. It doesn't. This is just human being, human to human. Understanding that I'm gonna see you, because I won't lie to you. A lot of times when I send somebody, it's just gonna take me 1 hour to get there. No. It's going to take you 2 hours. It's going to take you 3 hours. But they know that, it's just going to take me, how many minutes? But they expect that, forget about it, it's not time.
Yeah.
You want to know the last thing I want to tell you about time is they are so conscious about time in the United States to the fact that twice a year, a country of over 250 million, they agree to move their time forward or backward 1 hour. Isn't that crazy?
That is very crazy. And they do that consciously, right?
Yeah, they do it. It's called daylight savings time. They do it in the spring and they do it at fall time. And that's why sometimes we are 6 hours difference from Nigeria, and sometimes it's 7 hours difference from Nigeria. It's because
I can understand.
At the beginning of spring they move it forward. At fall they move it backwards. Just because it gets dark early and they want to make sure they catch the day. Imagine if they change the time in Nigeria. Everything will go in disarray, for God's sake.
It's all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate this.
All right, bro. Talk to you later.
Talking about time. Have to be on time. Thank you.
All right. Talk to you.
Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
You too, sir. Bye.